Tonight, we've got a bombshell is going to shake the political establishment. Two major Trump-related releases are on the horizon. First, Shane Bouvet's book, A Man Misunderstood, promises to reveal the Trump the media won't show you. Then there is The Man You Don't Know, a documentary by Christopher Martini and Global Ascension Studios. In fact, I interviewed Christopher Martini back in 2013 when I was on television news. Now, these are separate projects. They offer behind-the-scenes looks at the man who brought peace to the Middle East, stood up to China, and put America first. Folks, this could change the course of the election, so we need everybody to see this documentary and get this book. Now, as we anticipate this explosive new Trump book and movie, let's talk about something else the media doesn't want you to know about. Most guys think their testosterone is being drained by aging or genetics, but the real culprit? Well, it's a food you eat daily that you have been told is healthy. This one food devastates testosterone levels, draining your energy and crushing your motivation. But here's the good news. Cutting it out could transform how you feel. V-Shred has seen it firsthand. Guys are building muscle, burning fat, and feeling energized. Want to know what it is? Head over to sculptnation.com/NNN and watch the video. The simple change could unlock your true potential, just like Trump did for America. Now, I want you to meet somebody. He's actually a local guy. His name's Shane Bouvet. He's got this new book. It's literally just about to drop. A Man Misunderstood. Get your copy and learn about the true Donald Trump. These are stories you will never hear. You won't hear them on Fox. You won't hear them on any channel. But you'll hear about them from Shane's own experience. Beth Rogers says, this is my longtime friend Shane Bouvet and dad Don Bouvet with POTUS 45. God bless the USA. Now, why is this interesting? Now, before I show it to you, I got some clips here of Shane. But here he is with the president. What's he holding in his hand there? This is the beauty of Donald Trump, I'll tell you right now. And I got a movie trailer. We're going to play the movie trailer in a moment. But Shane has gone from blue collar all the way to the Oval Office. Look, there he is. There he is with Trump in the Oval Office. Look at them sitting there, hanging out. What a moment that would be. I've met Trump once. I can tell you that story later. But what happened here? Look at this. Okay, here he is again. How many times has he met this guy? Look at this. Boom. Look at that check. You see that check? $5,000 right there. Another one for $10,000 from Donald Trump. Donald Trump paid for Shane's father's chemotherapy. Paid out of his pocket. And Shane's father is on the mend now. Amen. Because Donald Trump did it. Helped. Let's listen to Shane's firsthand account here first.
Against Adam Kinzinger. How does a small-town FedEx worker end up in the Oval Office? Well, let me tell you. My story is your journey. And together, I am the Rudy of politics. And I never gave up. I never give up. I never give up. I wanted to do this book because it was the right thing to do. After seeing my president almost get assassinated, not only my president, but my friend, I knew I had to take action. That's when I reached out to a friend of mine named Jack Lombardi, who ran against Adam Kinzinger. I knew that he would be up for the task to defend and protect this Constitution that we all revere, that we don't want to lose. Everything's up for grabs. Kamala Harris, I call her flip-flop Kamala Harris, is trying to impose a 25% taxation on capital gains, which would destroy the livelihoods of our farmers, teachers, and blue-collar workers across the board. We must fight to unite together as a team. And Jack's seen the, what I love about Jack is he's a guy that stands up for truth. And what's going on is that we have a truth war going on. And we're going to win. We got to win. And I can't stress this out enough. It's about for me to expose the truth about this man. Because at first, I didn't know if I was going to like him. But I tell you what, it's a misconception of what's going on. He's misunderstood. And I have a book coming out Well, that's a surprise. Man misunderstood.
Now, if you want to get the book, go to amanmisunderstood.com/pre-order. We'll just jump over to the website real quick. Here it is. A Man Misunderstood. The Secret Heart of Donald J. Trump. It's more than a book. It's an inside look at the real Donald Trump, told through the personal experiences of Shane Bouvet, a loyal campaign volunteer who witnessed firsthand Trump's acts of kindness and dedication to everyday Americans. It's only available for pre-order. It's got lots of endorsements from Tyrus, Corey Lewandowski, Marla Maples, and of course Donald Trump himself is the centerpiece. But it's what Donald Trump did for his family, Shane's family, that you need to learn about. And Shane's been out there on the front lines asking people if Donald Trump's been misunderstood. Listen to these responses.
I gotta ask. Who are you? My name is Shane Bouvet. My dad had cancer, and Donald Trump paid for his chemotherapy all out of his pocket. I think he's a man that's misunderstood.
Oh.
What happened? Play.
Oh, absolutely.
This guy is the most humble, caring man I've ever met in my life, and I'm here to expose the truth. So I'm just asking you guys, do you think he's a misunderstood man?
100%. Oh, yeah, absolutely. 100%.
He's the most loving guy I've ever met.
He's done that to a lot of people.
Yeah, and I'm trying to expose the truth.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate it. Thank you so much for your help. God bless.
Shane's a great guy. He's had some wonderful experiences. Donald Trump's helped him. And he's also in this new film that is about to be released. It's called The Man You Don't Know. It really feels like it's in the same vein of Shane's own book. Global Ascension Studios presents The Man You Don't Know. Set to release, latest production, an in-depth documentary exploring the lesser-known aspects of President Donald J. Trump, directed by Christopher Martini. Film scheduled for release before the 2024 election. And I do have the trailer, and we do have Joshua Marciello from Global Ascension. He was recently, just actually 20 hours ago, he was on with Wayne Root. We'll get his comments, but first let's watch the trailer together.
Donald Trump and the MAGA Republicans representing extremism.
Donald Trump is a great threat to our democracy.
The greatest threat the world faces. It's destructive to our democracy.
To go out and put a bullet in Donald Trump.
He has to be eliminated.
That he is a misogynist, homophobic, racist.
Eliminated.
Someone's on top of the roof. Look.
You want me to tell you something about Donald Trump that the media doesn't know? How about this? He's a wonderful human being.
My father's a man who has a heart of gold, and it's the side that a lot of America does see, and the side that the media doesn't want you to see.
This is a guy running for president. He had no place else he would rather be than right there with his granddaughter in her pre-K class.
He's a very generous, honest, nice guy.
He's done a lot of incredible things for a lot of people, but he's not willing to take credit for it.
My only child, he was hit head-on by an illegal alien with 2 felony convictions, and I started to become suicidal. As I was telling him about losing my best friend, I could see him tear up. Donald Trump didn't just save my life, he helped me share my Dominic.
He is actually very relatable.
Hello, everybody.
When you break him down, he's actually just a regular guy. He's a great athlete, loves to watch sports.
He's a really good golfer. He's crushing hot dogs on the course.
What's your specialty today?
He's an all-American type person. He loves good casual food.
He just like his chocolate bars.
The deals we have with other countries are unbelievably bad.
He can't stand to see things not done the right way.
You should be rewarded for competence and capability in doing a job.
When you look at what he's gone through, them trying to break him, trying to kill him, he's still out there fighting.
This guy has been tested in every possible way. It's inspiring.
I'll call him on the phone as a friend and be like, hey, you good? How you doing? Unfazed.
He threatens this entire system of the corruption that is the U.S. government.
With all of these forces coming against him, not for a moment did he ever show that insecurity or fear that someone might feel when they don't know what's going to happen to them tomorrow. And that is who Donald Trump is.
Coming to theaters. You know what's cool about this thing? There's a lot of documentaries about Donald Trump, things he's done for the country. But we don't know what he's done for guys like Shane. I mean, helping his father with cancer. I mean, Shane's told me some stuff I can't share here that would blow your mind about how Donald Trump practically saved Shane's own life. Absolutely beautiful stories. And this film is going to be released real soon. The book's coming out. Make sure you grab a copy, okay? Everybody? Let's go check out... sorry, I'm getting a little broken up here. Okay, let's watch this. Let's watch the Joshua from the studio talking about the new film.
Helping save. So what did your movie tell us from the interviews what kind of guy he is? Tell us some stories.
You know, I got to meet him at Mar-a-Lago. We premiered the Relentless Patriot there. So I got to meet him at Mar-a-Lago, and I told him I was going to do a movie that was going to open the world's eyes. And media, just so you know, this studio was formed to take media back. Media has been, just very, very one-sided and demonic and just trying to tear good people down. What we were able to do is to get some of his oldest relationships. I mean, we got folks in the movie that have been friends with President Trump for over 60 years. We got folks in the entertainment business that have been friends with him for over, 30 years. And I made a promise to him face to face when I did spend time with him this year that we were going to tell a story and we were going to do it the right way. And Global Ascension Studios, I believe, lived up to the hype. I think that when everybody sees this film, they're gonna be very, very fired up. I think they're going to be very emotional. As you said, when you mentioned the escalator ride, there was a very famous elevator ride that took place before the escalator ride that not many people on this world know about. And there was some things said on that elevator that the world's going to know. And, it's been really.
Spoiler alert, no, I'm not going to tell you. I know what happened in that elevator ride down. I've heard the story. It's an amazing story, but you're going to have to watch the movie to find out.
Really exciting to work with all these people from the entertainment industry to politics to big business, and some of his closest friends and family.
One of my favorite stories, I sent him a note in 2015, he was running, and I said, you're such a great conservative, but people don't know that. Other than me, most Republican voters don't know that. They just know you as a celebrity. You got to prove to them you're like Reagan. So you got to release a Reagan-like tax plan. And Trump reads it and goes, he sends me a note back. You're 100% right. I need a Reagan-like tax plan. How quick can you write it? And I wrote it. And that was the first tax plan he ever released. So, and I was a total stranger to the guy. I wrote his tax plan. There's stories about him I could tell you that would be so entertaining. I wish you'd gotten to me before you made the film because I would have added a lot to it. But I can't wait to watch the film because I'm sure you've got stories of a lifetime about this guy. Give us, before we go, what surprised you the most? What was the one story that you didn't know about Trump that really was a shocker that people will just go, wow, when they hear it?
You hear about him being very philanthropic with people. But when I tell you, and this is what this movie was really about. Yeah, we had the family and some entertainment friends, but the real stories you're going to hear are the ones from the people that had nowhere to turn. Life was absolutely demolishing them. And President Trump came in and rescued, whether it's rescuing a farm or whether it's helping save somebody's life. We've heard 30, 40, so many countless stories. So you believe that you think you know when you back him up that he's a good guy. But when you hear the same theme of his generosity and how much he was there to help others, man, Wayne, I couldn't tell you, man. I was so overwhelmed.
So what did you...
Maybe Donald Trump will save this network. You know, they're trying to destroy this network, trying to bankrupt us here at Next News. And we are on thin ice every day. I have to put together all the news, all the graphics, report it, publish it with the help of Brian, our producer. It is very difficult, especially financially, since we've been demonetized. It's crushing. It is crushing. But I want to share a story with you right now. Now, you may have heard me tell this story before, but it's a story about when I met Donald Trump for the first time. And it was at a fundraiser in Milwaukee back in, I believe, 2019. And we had to drive up there, took my whole family. We got tickets. And when I went to have my picture taken, I went to this VIP area and they asked me to present my card as to who was going to be in the photograph and who's allowed in this VIP area. Well, my wife was not permitted. My wife's name was left off the card. I asked Secret Service repeatedly. I asked the organizers repeatedly, how do I get my wife in this picture? Well, it's too late. You have to go through a secondary background check, and it's just too late. So it was just me. Just me. And I went and waited. I was like, I don't know, 26th person or something. And I waited and waited and eventually went up to President Trump. And as everyone's going through the motions for these photographs, they are, presenting their babies, kissing the babies and shaking hands, and everyone's super excited. And of course, I was excited, but I was also pained that my wife, who is my partner in all we do here at Next News, I could not do anything here without her. I mean, she is the perfect balance for me, and she is God's gift to my life. And I would not want her to miss that moment with Donald Trump. So I walk up to President Trump and I say, I had this long look on my face, and he's kind of taken back at the moment. And he says, what's the problem here? Because, of course, he's used to seeing everyone with big beaming smiles. And I had this long look on my face. And I showed him the card. I said, well, my wife's supposed to be in this picture, but her name wasn't on the card. And he says, well, you better go get your wife then. And I spun around and I saw the Secret Service agents in the corner of the room. And I pointed and I said, you guys heard that, right? I was like super excited. Like, the president is now bypassing Secret Service protocol because he's the commander in chief. He's the only one that can do it. And orders Secret Service to go get my wife. I step outside the room and I'm standing next to the deputy chief of staff, this super tall blonde woman. And she asked me what my wife's wearing, where she's seated, and I describe her. And I'm standing there and I'm waiting, and I can see through a window. A few minutes later, Secret Service is now ushering my wife in through this beautiful garden, beautiful mansion. And what ends up happening is she comes walking up through this garden entryway, big glass and everything. And my wife Angie puts her hands over her mouth. She goes, you didn't forget me. I say, I will never forget you. And she runs into my arms and we embrace. And I look up as I'm embracing my wife, and I see the Secret Service agents in the corner wiping their eyes. I see this deputy chief of staff. She's wiping her eyes. Everyone's having this like emotional response to my wife and I, because I was not going to leave her behind. And I get a tap on my shoulder, and the deputy chief of staff goes, sir, the president has a schedule. We have to get the photo. So I grabbed my wife by the hand and I said, so cliche, but it was like, Angie, honey, let's go meet the president. And we walked up. Nobody was in line now. We were the last people there. But there was the woman of the house, the woman who owned the property, who was, I didn't know it was going to disrupt her moment, but it ended up disrupting her moment with the president. Because we're standing there and the Secret Service is trying to keep everything on schedule. Deputy Chief of Staff keep everything on schedule. And this woman who owns the house goes, I'm the last person, Mr. President, and she's going to have her 5 minutes with him privately. And the Deputy Chief of Staff steps in and goes, no, ma'am, they're the last people. And they had to rush her off so Angie and I could go and step up and have our photograph with the president. I walk up. I'm super excited now. We take the picture and hand President Trump my card for the Next News Network. And I say, Mr. President, I said, thank you. We have 1 billion views on YouTube supporting you, sir. And you know what he says? He says, well, you better, after what I just did. And I walk out of the room. And this Secret Service lady, she was a little shorter than I. She, as I'm walking past her, she pats me on the back. She says, well done. Well done. I'll never forget that. But the point I'm trying to make in tying this story in with this movie and this book is that President Trump recognized the moment that I was not going to leave my wife behind. He recognized the importance of that. And that moment to me. And he, the commander-in-chief, overrode the Secret Service protocol with his executive authority for me. You know what's funny is like all these years we've never had any acknowledgement from them before, which is weird. Like on social media, there's never been like a tweet or a post or like, hey, thanks for all you guys are doing over there at Next News. Never anything like that. It'd be nice maybe one day, but that moment was really all I needed. And it's moments like that humanize the man. People don't know about those moments. And that's what this book is about. A Man Misunderstood. amanmisunderstood.com. And that's what this movie's about. So make sure that you go out, you get a copy of this book, you see this film when it's in theaters, and support these people and learn the true stories, the true testimonies about people's lives who've been touched by President Trump, the stories the media won't tell you. The media has it in for him because they're part of the problem. They're part of the machine. They have an agenda because they want to keep the status quo, and Donald Trump's a disruptor. He's a disruptor because the people have the power, and he's trying to give that power back to the people, and the president does that in these small, unheard of moments that you never, ever hear about. Like the one I just shared with you. How Shane's life was changed from a FedEx worker, father having cancer, President Trump paying for it. Countless other stories, my friends. Remember, President Trump, he's a good guy, man. He's a good guy. And we got to set the record straight. Are you with me on that? I know you are. Shane Bouvet's book and Christopher Martini's documentary, they promise to show us sides of President Trump the mainstream media has desperately tried to hide. Now, these projects, they offer a chance to see the real man behind the headlines, the leader who put America first. And I want to hear from you. What aspects of Trump's presidency do you think that Bouvet's book and Martini's film should highlight? What stories have you ever had? Have you ever encountered President Trump at a rally, Standing in line? Comment below. Let me tell your story. Because the filmmaker and Shane, they'll be reading the comments in there. Maybe you'll make the deleted scenes. I don't know. Share your thoughts, though, in the comments below.